Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, fashion dolls. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. It's kind of rainy outside, but we're going to keep it pushing and keep it moving. My next special guest is a Harlem, New York native that was born into the scene from shows like The Jump Off, Zane. You've seen him on iCarly. You've seen him in The Guild. You've seen him on so many shows. This look. Thank you, Shop HOD Lux. We're waiting on my special guest to get here. Hey, Lamont. Hey, nephew. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Yes, I had to change the hair color a little bit to do something a little different. Waiting on my special guest. So my next special guest was born in Manhattan, New York, Harlem, New York, of course, and I'm so excited. I have been waiting to do this interview all week long. He will be joining me in a few minutes. And not only is he an actor, he's a producer, and he's also a fitness trainer as well, too. And we're going to find out more about his production company as well. So, thank you so much. Yes, this is a two-tone unit that I've already had, and I just decided to pull her out and wear her because all week long I've been doing black. I did a bob cut with the bangs, so I had to do my little signature side part, of course. Shout outs to my makeup team, Melanie Nalamai Bridgers. Definitely go and check her out. I wanted to go for something very subtle, very light. So Teddy should be joining me in a few minutes. Have your questions ready. Yes, a girl needs options. I love changing up my hair. They did great. Thank you so much. Yes, go and check them out. Go and check them out. I'm super duper excited. We're just waiting on my very special guest to get here. Hi, Nicole's Closet. Hi, Prince. Hi, everyone. We're just waiting on him to get in. Oh, you didn't mean to press that request button? He should be joining me in a minute. Hold on. Let me send him the live. Let me send him the live. And he could just join like that. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited. How is everyone doing? And yes, make sure you guys follow each other in the audience while we're waiting on my special guest to get here. You guys are getting 2 shows today. The first show is going to be with Teddy. You know him from shows like The Jump Off. You know him on shows like Law and Order. You've seen him on plenty of shows. Ladies and gentlemen, my very special guest is here, J. Teddy. So let's get this interview started, and I can't.
You.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
All right. What's going on?
It is such a pleasure to have you here. Finally, I'm not going to keep you long. We're just going to go through real quick. We've had some timing issues. I had to specify because I'm on EST and he's on the West Coast, so
All good.
I'm doing excellent, Nicole. Let's get this interview started. So you were born in Manhattan, New York?
Yeah, uptown, Washington Heights. I was born in Harlem, actually. I was born at St. Luke's Hospital in Harlem, and then my family we went up to Washington Heights after that. But yeah, that's where I'm from, New York.
Okay, I have family in New York. Some is in Brownsville and in Brooklyn, so I'm pretty sure you're familiar with those and the avenues up there in the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, for sure. Brooklyn, Brownsville is in Brooklyn. Yeah. A lot of my mother's side of the family lives in Brooklyn, and they're from Brooklyn, Bay Ridge and Park Slope around there.
Okay, so let's get this interview started, ladies and gentlemen. He is finally here. So you have a very extensive resume of work. Let's go down the list. Los Angeles, Under the Same Moon. I know you from Zane, The Jump Off. I would have to literally, when I turned 18, I would have to slip and watch that show. Yes, and I had some of your brothers on, Damian T. Raven and Eamon Joseph, and the energy that Damian gave, wow. incredible actor, just like very sin. And then Amen as well too. Like he does a lot in his community with getting people involved, with getting out here to vote. And we're seeing what's going on with this election and this administration. So would you stress the importance to people and tell them how important it is to vote, especially now that we've got the Georgia Senate runoffs going on?
Absolutely, it's absolutely important to vote. And I mean, we see what happened. And
Yes.
we see how important it is to get out and to have your point of view on a ballot, to have your point of view, and how you think and how you feel, and how you react, and how you've absorbed the world, in your time here on earth, and how you're absorbing the world right now as it is in real time. All of that goes into your vote, right? People vote for different reasons. People vote for economic reasons. People vote for because their communities are in disarray, or and things like that. So whatever your reason is to vote, I think it's important to go out and do it. And I think we saw what happened with this past election, which kind of feels like the election is still going on.
Oh, and
Yeah,
nonstop.
yeah. So yeah, no, it's super important. It's a privilege, and a right at the same time, as a citizen. It's your civic duty.
Were you pink or blue this year? Oh my God. Shop HOD Deluxe. Yes, go and check them out. And someone asked, what is your sign? What's your astrological sign?
I'm a Virgo, born in September.
Okay, I'm a Scorpio, so no wonder why our energy is so good in the exchange and the conversation.
I'm a Virgo.
All
Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah. And I think
let's
as far
continue on.
whether I was pink or blue, go down my Instagram page. I think you know where I stand.
Yes, and Teddy, I commend you 100%. I've seen one of your lives where you were speaking out on police brutality, and that's something also that's important. Amen Joseph is the same thing. I'm so thankful for shows like Snowfall, and even though it's very provocative, the jump off, because black men, we're seeing so much with Meg Thee Stallion and black women. For me, as a black woman, as a black woman of color, it's been difficult for black women this year, Breonna Taylor and so forth and so on. But one of your lives is very powerful and very touching. And I just wanted to tell you that you have an anointing on you and that you have a gift that God is giving you. And you actors, people like us, I'm not an actor. Well, I did just get my first movie role. Shout outs to Alex Johnson.
Right
And
on.
I'm so nervous. But actors and people like us, journalists, we have a platform to give people the truth. And a person's words that is in this entertainment industry is powerful.
Right.
So your life touched so many, and I just wanted to let you know that.
I appreciate that. I did it from the heart, and it was, it was something that I felt I wanted to say, and that needed to be said at the same time, because not everything that you want to say needs to be said, right? There's not always
Yes.
this uniformity between what your opinion is and what needs to be heard. But I thought it was both. It was my opinion, and I felt that it needed to be heard, and it was at a time when, I mean, it's still going on, but it was a couple of months ago at a time when things were bad. I mean, people were in the streets, and it was bad. It was bad, and I just wanted to let people know that this is kind of a reckoning, man. I mean, what's happening right now? This is America's chickens coming home to roost. You know, and it's unfortunate, man, but it's that. I wish I didn't have to say it. I wish I didn't have to make that Instagram live, because that would mean that the things that were happening weren't happening, but they were. You know.
And again, I can't thank you enough for that, for coming on my platform and also doing that live, because I've been speaking about it all week long about, for us as African Americans, as colonized people, the things that we go through and the challenges that we've had to face for us to have the right to vote. And when I did my interview with Eamon, that's one key point that he kept bringing up is, how our founding fathers and so many have fought before us so that we can have the right to have our democracy and have our voices be heard. And till this day, it's still a fight, and we're still seeing that with this particular administration. But I'm happy. I know for me, my anxiety was through the roof when this election happened. I was just like, oh Lord Jesus, some of these states are gonna stay red. I know my state, South Carolina, is a red state, and
Yeah.
we got to continue to change the narrative. So I'm thankful that I created my platform to welcome, big voices like yours and Amen and
Yeah.
so many. I've had so many on.
That's good on you, man. You're doing a good thing.
Thank you
So
so
yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about the acting. We're going to shift gears because that was kind of heavy for a moment.
Right.
How
All
did you
good.
get involved in acting?
You know, I was a professional dancer in New York for many years. I danced Latin dance, cha-cha, salsa, rumba. It was salsa on two, mambo on two, and you know, I had the opportunity to travel all over the world with it. So you know, the artistry has always been in me. You know, my mother's a poet and a writer. You know, and you know, my the majority of my family, my nuclear family, you know, we all have an artist in that. My sister went to fashion school. My mother was a fashion designer. My brother went to art school, and so you know, it's in us. But you know, I started there as a dancer, and then I got my first role in New York in a feature film. It was my first feature film, and you know, it was off to the races. Did shows in New York. You know, did a lot of stage in New York as well. Um, and I trained. I trained as an actor in New York at School for Film and Television, which is now known as the American Academy for Dramatic Arts. I think they changed the name. I trained at HB Studios, and then I moved out here to LA. Came out here to LA and continued training, and just kept on working. So it's been like 20 something years, like 20 years. I would say
That long?
no, not 20 something. It's definitely not 20 something. But it's been somewhere around 18 years. I would say, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And speaking of dance, my sister in the comments, Stephanie, shout outs to her. Make sure you guys we're all about supporting black owned businesses here on my platform. Go and check her out. She's also a dancer and she has a makeup line as well too. So ladies and gentlemen, y'all go and check that out. Black Friday was just not too long ago, and I'm pretty sure that everybody's looking for deals for the holidays. So go and hit her up. I had to throw those plugs in there. How do you feel you progressed in your acting career? Because you've played a number of roles. Like you played Spencer on The Jump Off, you played Bruiser, and that character, it was so funny. It was so comical in a way. And then it was this character you played, where the makeup, the aesthetic, it was like this blue. How can I describe it? It was like a y'all have seen the movie Spawn, right? So y'all know what I'm talking about. It
I
was
know
this
it.
character. I was like, ooh, I ain't never seen him like this before.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was it like getting into all of that makeup? Because we know that, what's it called? Transformative makeup arts. What was that process like for you to get into that type of character?
Well, I think you're talking about this one show I did called Dragon Age. And Dragon Age,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Dragon Age was actually the producers and the creator of the of a show that I was on called The Guild. Her name is Felicia Day. Super cool lady, man. I mean, she is, you know, creative and a writer. And she put me on The Guild, which is where I played Bruiser, which is what you're talking about. And that was a great role. It was comical and everything, yeah, but it was a groundbreaking web series. I mean, it just took the
Yes.
internet. It took the internet by storm. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be as big as it was, but I'm glad I was on it. I'm glad they trusted me. So the producers and Felicia Day and from that show, well, Felicia created a show for a video game called Dragon Age, and the show was supposed to promote the video game's release. So I think they made like a 6 or an 8 episode show, and they cast me as one of the characters. And that blue horn character, that's That's a Canary Warrior, and the Canary Warrior is one of the characters in the video game. That was 5 hours and change in a makeup chair. The most surreal experience of my life. I think I fell asleep twice. Woke up, they were still working. It was crazy. It was crazy, but I got to work alongside some great people, and that's where I met Doug Jones on that. Now, if you know anything about Doug Jones is like the master of you not knowing who he is, because he's the guy in all of the movies basically who has all the prosthetic makeup on and plays these really surreal characters. What's Pan's Labyrinth? Was it one? What's the last show about the sea creature? I think it was wow. Oh wow. I'm forgetting. It's not coming to me. But he has played some incredible people, and I got a chance to work with him and meet him on that, and it was a great experience. But getting into those characters, I mean, when you have all that makeup on and when you look like that, it's easy to get into character. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of knowing what you want. Knowing what you want to do, and knowing what your intention is, and just sticking to it.
Love that movie, Pan's Lab. That's it, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've played an array of characters. Is it difficult for you to get into character because you played so many? You played the Love On, the Jump Off. You played some of these evil characters. Then it was another one where it was just like, if y'all seen an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and her boyfriend at the time, he was off hinge. They gave him some type of shot in his system or something, and you were like this military commando man, and you came in busting through with this gun. I was just like, oh Jesus, he gonna kill everybody.
Yeah. Most of the roles I've played, I think it's an even split. Maybe I've played more the villain than I have the good guy. You know what I mean? More the antagonist than the protagonist or whatever. But I've gotten a lot of roles since the beginning. I mean, I used to play the criminal at the beginning of my career, and nowadays it's more the cop and the detective. So I played both sides. You know what I mean? I played a lot of athletes when I was younger. Getting into the role is just it's just a matter of doing the work, I guess, and finding out what's at the core of this individual or this, of you. Like, what is it about you yourself that you can actually bring to this role, to connect with it, and doing the research and taking your time and being patient and making strong choices and decisions about, where you're going with things and having a strong point of view, and I guess once you train for that, it kind of becomes second nature, and it's still hard. It's still hard. It's not easy. I'm not going to tell you that every role that comes to me is absolutely easy, and there is an audition process. So even, having to make the right choices for the audition, is important and gives you, it kind of gives you some anxiety sometimes, but, you work through that.
And you pulled through these roles completely. You've mentioned the criminal. It was one episode of iCarly where you was helping somebody break out of jail, and I'm just like, oh God, and it was moving the bed in the house. When I tell y'all, I screamed so bad.
Yeah.
Watching that episode.
Yeah. That was iCarly. That was a fun one, Yeah. I remember my nieces and nephews. They saw it and they tripped out, and kids would be like, "Oh, iCarly!" My friends were having their kids call me, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a trip. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask two more questions, and I'm not going to keep you. I'm sorry, audience, I can't keep him because he has a client. But, all right, the next question is, if you could collaborate with any actor that is currently out working right now, who would that be?
Oh, that's a good question. I've just always wanted to work with Felicia Rashad. Period.
Oh,
That's all. That's all. That's. I'm not asking much. That's all. I've always wanted to work with Felicia Rashad in some capacity. You know, I just she has such a beautiful energy, a beautiful essence. She's a wonderful, brilliant actor, and yeah, yeah. Just keep it simple. Let's go with that.
she's an icon. I thought you were going to say somebody like Viola or Denzel, someone like that. They're incredible too, but
No,
Felicia is
no,
just
totally. I mean,
impeccable.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, Denzel is on the list. Denzel is should be number one, but you know, I mean, I don't know. Felicia was the one that jumped into my mind, and we're gonna go with that.
Incredible actress. And speaking of actress, you have your own production company. So what made you get up and start your own production company?
Well, I mean, I think as an actor, you have a voice, and sometimes that voice isn't always heard in every single role that comes your way. And I think nowadays more than ever, it's important to be what they call. I didn't coin this term, but I kind of dig it. It's a multi hyphenate artist, right? So you're not just an actor, but you're also a writer and you're a
Right.
creator, right? You're a creator, you're a producer, you're directing your stuff. You're doing everything that you need to do to advance yourself and your career and to make sure that your voice is heard. And if writers are not coming up with the right roles for you, then perhaps you should come up with the right role for yourself. You know, and it's that simple. I mean, I think having a production company and doing your own things and you know creating a solid foundation for yourself moving forward is important in any venue. You know what I mean? Especially as an artist.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I believe that everybody should create their own platform. Not only you have your own production company, but you have your fitness company as well too. So I'm
yeah.
gonna keep it there. I'm not gonna ask anymore. We
It's all
can't
good.
keep them any longer. And thank you so much for this incredible interview. Just taking a few minutes out of your day. That's all.
Hey, you got it, Stevie. I appreciate you. And yeah, man, keep on keeping on. All right.
I sure will, always.
All right.
Next up,
Good
ladies and
talking to you.
gentlemen, we have Carrie D and Lyndon. So see you soon. Take care. Thank you so much.
All right now.